back in the turn of the century in the 1900s, white Jewish synagogues invested in black Jewish synagogues. Black Jewish synagogues started to emerge. What people don't understand is Matthews and all them cats back then, they was black synagogues, but they was not black synagogues like we think of black Hebrew Israelites today. They were black synagogues that were counterparts to their white synagogues. In other words, they wasn't saying the white man's the devil. They was treating themselves like they were Jewish conversions. Like the white Jews was the real Jews, but that they were black Jews by conversion. So they was respecting the white Jews. And that's what Matthews and them was doing. But here's what people don't know. Bivens was a real radical. Bivens was a radical. He came up from the South and he had learned about being an Israelite from the slaves. So he had that edge on him that the Lord wanted. He had that hate the white man edge that this guy is the enemy. So now he joined Matthews and them. They fellowshipping with white yeshivas, white synagogues. So Bivens in a jam here. So he had to break from them. And when he broke from them, that's when he set up his school on Fifth Avenue. And in his school, that's when they started to get radical. And see, Ariel was a young radical brother too, which is why he gravitated to Bivens. And Yaakov, Yaakov was a two-gun gangster. And Ariel, being Yaakov's son, he was a radical too. Like these was not them old Jewish cats that's in them group. That's why you ain't never hear about them cats. Because they was not called to raise up the prophet. That's right. They had Jewish synagogues, and that's it. Anybody can open a Jewish synagogue. Old Testament, New Testament, the ones in Chicago, the ones in Dimona, none of them was like the ISUPK. That's right. And there's a reason for that. Because the ones in the ISUPK, there was a spirit of the Lord that was on them. And listen, show you how radical Bivens was. Now remember, we're talking the 60s, in the height of the Nation of Islam. What's the one they killed? No, the Muslim. Malcolm X. Malcolm X doing speeches in Harlem. You know what I mean? They damn near running Chicago. And Abba Bivens going on the street in Newark telling Muslims, you not no Muslims. That's right. You the lost chosen people of the Lord. That's how radical he was. Matthews and them was sitting up in there on Saturday with a sheet over their head praying to the Lord. Bivens was out there battling. He was radical. And when they killed Bivens, then of course it was a whole bunch of power grabbing in the school that Bivens had built. So Masha, Yaakov, took Yaakov's son Ariel, and the three of them came around the corner and rented 1 West 125th Street from Mr. Mills. Mr. Mills ran Mills Security. He had started Mills Security in the 60s, became wealthy by giving black people jobs as security guards. He eventually bought the building. Once he bought the building, he knew them from around the corner and rented them out 1 West 125th Street. And that's how 1 West got started. And if you go back and check, they was trying to break from that whole vibe of the white Jews, because the whole reason it became universal, remember it's Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. Originally, it was the Israeli school of universal practical knowledge. Why? Because back then, everybody was, like I said, tied to the white Jews. But when they started the Israeli school of UPK, they were trying to break away from it because they had found out from the visions and the scriptures that those white people were not the Jews, but that in fact they were the real Jews. While Matthews and them was treating the white people like they were the Jews, and the black people like they were conversions to the Jews. That's why some of them that went out to Ohio and Chicago named they synagogues Ethiopian Israelites or Ethiopian Jews. Why? Because they were trying to find a way to convert themselves in. Same time, ain't no black people Ethiopian. We come out of slavery. Well, why would you call it Ethiopia, because you're trying to convert to white Judaism. Even the outfits they wore came from the white Jewish rabbis. You understand? But they were break. But the Lord was working to break them out of it. So when they got around to One West, that's when they added universal practical knowledge, because now it was a betwixt. Because back then, you had to come in and convert to Judaism. But here was a new radical idea where they were saying you no longer got to convert to Judaism. You are the real Jew. Right. You are the people of the Lord. Right. And that was radical at that time.